Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, ahoo, ahoo, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so make sure to check us out there, buddy. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my little sister, Chicoletta Vetta.
Oh, that's so cute. You said little sister.
Whatever. Listen, girlfriend, nasty. Listen, so on this episode, we're going to be talking about a movie that I know and love very much with the weasel. It's called Son-in-Law. Give it to me, Vetta. Yeah. All right. So first, an important question of this is, what are you drinking? I've been drinking a lot, by the way.
Same. I am drinking a strawberry wine like cocktail thingy because it's something I feel like college-esque students would drink. It's, one of those sparkly thingies that they love that comes in the can. It doesn't give a lot though, so maybe they need to make their own drinks instead of buying pre-mixed shit.
For sure. For sure. I am drinking a screwdriver. I'm sorry, I'm all out of vodka because he mentions a screwdriver at the very beginning of the movie, and I was like, ooh, perfect, because those are my favorite. Love vodka.
I just love the screwdriver.
Yeah.
Anything with vodka. Yeah, right.
Right on. So, okay. So getting into, I'm not going to do the whole weasel voice, the whole thing, although I'm saying I'm loving this. I love this this
the outfit and
yeah,
the wig
I love it. Yeah. Listen, we got you some weasel gear. Okay, so I just want to say before we get started though that I love Pauly Shore. I just love him. I love him now. I love every movie that he's been in and every movie that's about him. I just love it. It's so good. I could watch it forever.
Same.
Okay, so you've obviously seen this movie before I picked this movie.
Oh yeah, I saw this when I was a kid,
teenager. On VHS.
Yes, you can still buy it on Amazon on VHS.
Shut up. I should do that just for nostalgia.
It's $9.99.
It's $9.99.
Yeah.
Shut up. I should go look that'd be great just to stick it on a shelf somewhere. That'd be so good.
Yeah, they still sell it on Amazon on VHS. Yeah. So but that's the same time that like Pauly Shore had all the movies, like Pauly's in the Army Now, Biodome.
Oh yeah.
No man, like he was in just a ton of movies, and then he did the documentary like 10 years later. Pauly Shore is dead. Like
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Like the only thing that I wish I would have the opportunity to see him like live, do his comedy show live.
Oh yeah, that'd been great. Yeah, I would have loved that. Yeah, back in the day. Is the way is anyway. So this movie started out with a little graduation presentation and everything. But I don't know about you, but that butterfly speech was fucking lame. I mean, he's like, I see monarch butterflies ready to go off into the world. I'm all like, are you fucking kidding me with this bullshit? And then she did, because
your principal gave that long-lasting speech that changed your life.
Yeah, exactly. And then she gets up there, what's her face? Becca, and she gives her speech about change. And I'm all like, your speech sucks too. I don't know about your though, but when I was every speech that I've been to of those, they all suck anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But what'd you say?
I gave the closing speech at my graduation.
Look at you. But I hated it. It was
I wrote a poem because I hated speeches from everybody else so much. I wrote a poem, and I'm pretty sure if I went back and watched the video, it would be so lame.
Whatever, it was probably cute. But I love how then she's all like, yeah, we did it, guys, and then she throws her hat up in the air, and then everybody else falls, and I'm like, that's not how it goes down. It's not how it goes down. I've been to plenty of graduations. It doesn't go down like that. And they frown on that. You throwing your hat up in the air. They're just like, don't do it. And I'm like, why? It looks like fun.
My son's class did it.
And I love how like when she's talking to Travis before she goes off to California, she's like, things aren't gonna change. I'm like, oh yes, they are, and they did. They're gonna change hardcore, honey.
It changed
Get
crazy. Like,
ready. So, oh, also, I don't like that they have this Midwestern family and it's so dysfunctional. Like, it's such a dysfunctional family. And I'm all like, I'm sorry. Like, I know our family's a little dysfunctional, but I didn't think it was that bad. Like, we could take a picture for heaven's sake. Um, yeah, it was just ridiculous.
no,
Um,
there's so much that's ridiculous about it, but it's ridiculous in a great way.
right on. Yeah, yeah. What did you think about all this stuff before she went to California in college?
Well, she's from South Dakota. When you're driving through South Dakota, it is literally farm fields.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for
Um,
sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
so I go,
I've been there
that makes
before.
sense. That checks, you know, that checks out. I just kind of go, she was very unprepared for California. For someone
Oh,
who's so
yeah.
excited to go somewhere new and do things, like, how did she not know? Did she not visit? Who goes to college without visiting it?
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. I know they didn't have online stuff back then, but yeah, you would go to the college that you were going to go, like thinking about to do
I
like
mean,
that
I've
little
heard
tour.
stories
Yeah,
like during the pandemic. I've heard stories like during the pandemic of kids that could only do the online virtual tour. So they had never actually stepped foot on campus. I can't fathom that. We were lucky enough that we had done college tours before the pandemic hit. So, you know, it wasn't a problem, but I'd heard other kids that never stepped foot on campus till the day they moved in. That's bananas
that
to
is
me.
so weird. I don't understand that at all. At all.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they move in, right? I love how everybody in California is just looking at these Midwesterners like they're fucking like Hoboken from like Hoboken or whatever. And I'm all like, it's not like they're like fucking, amputees, okay? They're like normal people. They've just got like fucking like Argyle on, just like calm down, calm down.
She's not the first person from the Midwest to ever go to college in California.
Right?
So,
Yeah.
but they are looking at her like she is like,
Yeah,
oh
they're
my
looking at
God.
like she's a freak show. And I'm like, what's going on here? This is so weird. This is weird right here. I don't
She's
get
in
this whole thing.
a skirt, or maybe it was a skirt. Maybe it was a skirt.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I just am like, but she doesn't, they are right. She does. Pauly Shore is right when he confronts her. She does not do anything to fit in or make friends or anything.
Oh,
And
right on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
so I also go though when she meets Pauly, she goes from 0 to 100 real fast.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he changes her like very fast. Yeah. Like he
Yeah, she becomes who she thinks she's supposed to be or what he wants her to be instead of who she is,
for
you know.
sure. Yeah. And I didn't like her hair when she got it changed. I
No.
didn't like it. But I love how when she got in there, he was like recording her like a big weirdo. And he's all like,
Yeah.
am I a carnivore? Because I smell fresh meat. And I was like, yeah, I like it. Like, and then he's
And
like,
then he says, ooh, you got charisma.
Charisma, what's that? It's a special quality that inspires leadership and devotion. I'm like, yeah, she's got charisma and everything. I love how during the Halloween party, first off, I love the Halloween party. Um, and I love how she
But
gets
can
like,
we talk about how outside it on the banner was a fraternities Halloween party? It was like Theta Kappa something Halloween party, but they're in the dorms.
oh
Do
yeah,
frats? Do
yeah.
frats have like
No,
dorm
no.
parties?
Shout out
I
to
didn't
Tri
do Greek
Tau. Anyways,
life.
that's my frat, Tri Tau. Anyways, but I don't yeah, no, they don't do frats don't do parties in dorms. They do it in their frat house. That's why they have a frat house. Duh. You're like little idiots. Like um and I love the guy that left his like beer can in her laundry basket as he was like, "Hello, little lady," and he's like, and he like leaves it. He just like puts it in there, and he's like, "You're a hip
Yeah, I can't.
hip washer woman."
Just lazy or drunk. Yeah.
Yeah,
what I can't realize if he was drunk or lazy.
Yeah, and I love how we got a cameo from Brendan Fraser is Encino Man, Link from Encino Man. I was like, oh, I love
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser. This is when he was like not fat and he was all thin and shit and like popular.
Well, people get old.
Right on. I do love Brendan Fraser. Okay. I love when he gives her the speech about how like the college is the best years of our lives, and everything. And then he's all like, she's like, how many years have you been here? He's like, 6. And I was like, oh, wow. That's a lot. That's a lot, dude. I mean, I get it sometimes because sometimes college can take a little bit longer for some people, but 6 and your look sounds like you're going on 7 pretty soon. It's a lot. So it sounded like he was just a freeloader,
Well,
in my opinion.
it sounds like he went to college not knowing what he wanted to be, and he was dabbling in stuff and still didn't have a clue.
Yeah, which I go, they say, don't they say in college something like you're going to change your major like 4 times or 3 times before you pick what you want to do? And I'm all like, sounds like this fucker is picking a lot of different stuff. Majored in karate for 2 semesters.
And he's not a resident of California. He's from Nevada. So he's paying out of state tuition.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. California schools for out of state tuition run about $70,000 to $80,000.
Did you think his picture of him freshman year with his hair and glasses and everything, did you think that was crazy? Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, he doesn't look that bad.
No, he looked like a kid who graduated in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I was like, when she laughed, I was like, it's not that bad. I mean, like, you know, and he's like, got a new do, or he's like, got a new threads, grew out the do. And I'm like, oh, look at you with your little Jew fro, which I get. All right. So then I love when they get her some weasel gear, some weasel wear, and then they get, which I'm sporting tonight, weasel wear, woo, ahoo, ahoo. Anyways, okay. But I love how she's all like, I want to get a tattoo and everything. And I love this line because I totally relate to it. And when she's like, I want something feminine. And Flea is all like, he's standing next to me. He's like, see, that's what I'm talking about. The ink seeks into the system and then you're a freak. Look at him, you freak, and everything. I was like, yeah, look at that. And he's like, good point.
He's like, fair. He's like,
fair. So yeah. And I love how she like turns a 180, like or a 360, 180, real quick. Like she's all like, first she's all like meek and shy, and then she gets like new clothes and a tattoo, and she's all like, I'm a weirdo now and everything. And I love the mud wrestling. Okay, can we talk about that for just 2 seconds? Okay. I love how $20 got him a fight with Thumper. And I have to tell you, I love Thumper. Thumper is just like my favorite part of this movie. Because I love how he's like thinking he's gonna like wrestle a hot chick. And he's like, that's the kind of girl I'm gonna marry and everything. And then it's Thumper. And he's like, get me away from you. And I was like, that's totally how I would be against Thumper. And then he's like got mud all over his face. And there were like, that mud looked gross. It looked like there were like chunks in it. I was like, ew.
Because there's mud that you're like, oh, that looks amazing. I want to be in that mud.
Right. So, yeah. And then, okay. So I have one question for you, because then after that scene, it's the Thanksgiving, like they're going to go home for Thanksgiving. Everybody's like separating, like, hey, see you when you get back from Thanksgiving and everything. Okay. When she was talking on the phone with Travis, did you at any point in time think that he was going to propose? Because I didn't get that vibe.
He just was like, it's going to be special. I never got that vibe either, because you got the whole situation of him. I can't figure out why he wants to marry her.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? She's still playing Jane.
Well, it's not even that. It's just she's a typical girl next door vibe for sure. But he's really not that into her.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. So can we talk about her coming home, to middle America, sweeping the fields, ahoo, ahoo, high water. I have a wipeout and everything. Okay. So, I love when she comes home and he tries to propose to her in the barn. And I'm all like, ew, like you couldn't have done it better than that.
But that's what I mean. What are we not getting on why? Because in the whole big scheme of things, then he wants to propose at the country club. Why wasn't the country club and the family dinner your first opportunity? Why would you propose in a barn? Because you guys make out there after her parents go to bed?
Yeah. And why didn't go ahead?
And I just don't get why he's so eager to propose, because he's sleeping with Tracy.
Oh yeah, and I just want to be honest with you. Even though I love the actress that plays Becca, but Tracy's hotter. Like she's so much hotter. Like, and she was on 90210. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell. She was on Saved by the Bell.
And 90210.
And 90210, and she's just fucking hot. I was like, yeah, show mommy those titties, and she didn't. Anyways, why didn't she just say no to the engagement? I've seen plenty of times where bitches are just like, no, thank you, I'm not interested in marriage with you. Like, you're not marriage material, my dude.
All she had to do was be like, dude, I'm in college on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
thank you.
So then I love how when he does propose at the country club and he's all like, she's like, do something. I'm like, you do something, bitch. And then he does, he's like, we already engaged. He's like, here's your little ring. I was like, oh, that's so embarrassing. And then I love how Travis leaves and he's like, oh dude, she never cheated on you. I'm like, shut up. Like that's the definition of cheating on you. Yeah. Like I'm just like, what is going on here? Even if it doesn't matter, I wouldn't believe you anyways. It's so funny. I love it. Dude, she didn't cheat on you. I laughed so hard when I watched that. Okay. And then I love how he punched him and he's like, why'd you do that? And everything. I have been punched. I just want to say I've been punched in the face like that. It fucking hurts. I just want to say I can, you are very much like, I remember small, we're just, I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. I was at a party. This guy, he was in a bad mood. I don't know what his deal was, but he pushed a friend of mine, female, and all I said was, hey, hands off. And he punched me right in the face and it hurt. I thought he broke my face. That's how much it hurt. And as soon as he did, blood was just coming down, like it was pouring out of my nose holes. Like I was just like, it hurts and everything. And the friend, the female friend was all like, why did you do that? I was like, well, he pushed you. He was very aggressive. And she's like, I was like, did he break it? And she's like, I don't think so. I was like, good, because I don't like it. It hurts so much.
You're way nicer than me.
Yeah, that's
I called the cops.
Oh, well, the cops were
he assaulted
called,
my friend and me.
He was long gone though, and I didn't know who he was or whatever. And the cops were called though, and I mean, like, I was like, yeah, I want to press charges, but they were like, who is he? And I was like, I don't fucking know. He was just being a dick. Anyways, so then after they get home from the country club debacle, I love how her mom confronts her in the kitchen. But I don't know if you noticed this. I noticed this because I wrote it down. But she gets out a coffee mug and puts cranberry juice in it. And I'm like, is that what, why didn't you just get a glass like a normal person? And then she doesn't even drink it. She's all like, no. Connie. And she's like, I'm mom. And I'm all like, yeah, that's great, Connie. Why did you put cranberry juice in that mug, that coffee mug? It's so weird. Becca. So yeah.
Can we talk about when Pauly is in Zach's room and he makes 2 sandwiches? And if you watch the whole time, after he takes the sandwich back, sometimes he's holding 2. It's poor editing. And I love when you can point out poor editing situations. Right, he's got 2 sandwiches in his hand. And then if you watch, like it goes back to Zach and then it comes back to him and he's got 1 sandwich. Then it goes back to Zach and it comes back to him and he's got 2 sandwiches. And it changes like 2 or 3 times where he has 1 sandwich or 2 sandwiches. And I'm like,
right. Yeah, no. I love that scene because he's like, I wouldn't go to sleep tonight if I were you. And he's like, Mom, he's like, oh, boy, chill. He's like, I'm taking
my sandwich back.
Yeah. Okay,
it looked like a good sandwich.
It did look like a good sandwich. Okay. Okay, so when he starts farming, because he's all like, I'm gonna do what do you do? And he's like, I'm a farmer. And he's like, I could be a farmer and everything. The whole time they're like fucking with him. And then he's like, at that lunch with the fried chicken, which looked delicious, by the way. That looked delivered, not homemade, by the way. Um, he's all like, yeah, he's like, you ruined my fence. You lost half my chickens. I figure you cost me about $1,000 today. And he's like, and I just want to be like, I think that was Theo's fault because he was just fucking with him the whole time, and fucking with him caused the damage. Like he didn't tell him about the first gear. That first gear is going to be a little bit tricky. That caused the accident because you didn't give him all the information. And I'm sorry, but you're fucking with him. That's what caused the damage. So you're all mad at him.
Lose the chickens? You're on a farm.
What?
Did he really lose the chickens? You're on a farm, and they look like free range chickens, anyways, because they weren't in a coop. They were just running around the yard.
I agree. Probably didn't lose the chickens. But yeah, I'm just all like, whatever.
And was that fence really worth $1,000?
Oh, right on. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. $1,000. Yeah. I was like, well, like at the time, like
Walter's being a little dramatic.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But Theo was a fucking dick, that fat piece
Theo's
of shit.
a dick.
So I love how he climbs into that one machine that, what was that, like a harvester or some shit like that. Yeah, there you go. And he's like, mischief. And I'm like, no mischief. Why are you getting into there? Why are you going in there? Don't get in there. Like,
sure, you just got in trouble.
Yeah, the first year is tricky, remember? But then but yeah, I the whole time I'm just like, when he gets in there and he's like, got me a place, got me, life ain't nothing but a funny riddle. Thank God. I'm like, stop singing right now. Because if you want to listen to the song, go find a boombox, fucker. Not a whole machine to do it.
That he's pretending is a video game joystick.
Yeah. And so I love that, like, after this whole ordeal, he comes in on the mom and she's in she gets out of the shower and he's like, sweetie, and everything. He's like, oh, sorry, I thought you were Becca. And she's like, I'm not. And he's like, and I love how just giving her a salsa dress makes her all like spicy now. Like she's all like, she's like a spicy MILF and shit. How'd you feel about that?
I thought it was funny because I was like, now all of a sudden they're not going to sleep in Ozzy and Harriet beds because.
Oh my God. I have that written down. But before we get to that, can we talk about the hoedown with the line dancing? I love Pauly Shore's like rap battle, whatever it was going on. He's like, don't use throw, don't just come on now and groove that buff the wood. Buff the wood. Come on. And I love how the old people just start shaking.
If you've got a chick with gnarly nuts.
Yeah. And do the funky chicken. And the whole time I'm all like, this is some bad poetry reading. But at the same time, I love how these bumpkins are all like, oh, if we just shake our butts and do a conga line, we're all like crazy Californians now. Okay.
And poor Horace lost his gig.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. But I love how this movie. Okay, so I love how Crawl shows up and they all get very sexual after Crawl shows up. Like he just shows up, puts on a new outfit on somebody, and then everybody's like, all of a sudden they're into sex and everything. Like us Midwesterners don't know how to fuck and shit.
Like we're all fuddy duddies and only procreate or only have sex to procreate.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's go back to the separate beds, because when that happened, I forgot about that until we watched it again for this review. That threw me for a fucking loop. Like, what's going on there? That's insane. I don't know anybody that has separate beds ever. And this is in 93.
No, I know people that they sleep in different rooms because like the wife has, that restless leg syndrome, so she's always kicking, or the husband snores so the wife can't sleep, or someone has insomnia. I know people that sleep in separate beds.
Yeah, I never do it.
Because when my husband's gone, I can't sleep.
That's so, listen, that's weird to me. I don't know. I couldn't do it. Even if my wife has that restless leg syndrome, she doesn't kick me, but it's always moving up and down. But I'm all like, I can fall asleep wherever, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
I can sleep anywhere as long as my husband isn't there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay. So the next morning, I love how they come in and they go on their little fishing trip, but I love how the mom's all like, nasty. And I'm all like, what are you doing, Connie? What is going on here? Okay. You're not like all of a sudden a porn star. Okay.
After a lot of years of getting none.
I mean, I guess so, but I'm just all like, you're telling me
You
what
don't
you.
have a boost of confidence in the morning in the kitchen after you get some when it's
Oh,
been a while?
listen, I
don't
have
know.
a boost of confidence all the time, even if I don't get any. I'm rubbing that ass all day long. You know what I'm saying? I'm tapping it, you know? Um, and they go on, okay, so they go on their fishing trip, right? And the grandpa's kind of a douche a little bit, but then I love how he's like, you kind of get on, he kind of gets on you like you get on Zach. And he's like, yeah, well, who asked you? And I'm all like, yeah, fucker, stay in your own lane. It's none of your business. Like he said, what are you doing? What are you doing right now?
You
Huh?
had a success with the mom. Take your win and walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. Crawl. Don't get into their business. That's not your business, dude. You know. So the grandpa has like a somewhat heart, what I don't know what he went into, like cardiac arrest or whatever, but I love how he okay.
So
Yeah, okay, let's just pretend he had a heart attack. I love how Crawl's immediate reaction is do mouth to mouth resuscitation. Like that's not how that works. You should have taken an extra semester in that because I'm no medical expert, but I know that if somebody's having a heart attack, you don't do mouth to mouth resuscitation on them. I know that. I do know that. Um, but and I love how he's like, between you and between you kissing me and me dying, I'd rather die. I'm like, yeah, right. Although I'd let Pauly Shore make out with me for sure. Yeah. Sorry, I need a
why
little
not?
sip of sip.
So once in a
Um.
time, probably lifetime opportunity. You got to take that when it happens.
Oh yeah, and I'd sell that story to the tabloids. Yeah, I'd be like, what can you give me? I'll take $20. Um. Okay. All right, can we I love how he gives her the little serious speech after the fishing trip cuz he's like we had a serious moment. Your grandpa almost died in front of me. We need to talk and everything. And she's like, "I'll tell him, I'm a liar." Um and then they did the turkey killing. I love how he's all like, "You ever killed your own turkey?" And picked out your own turkey for Thanksgiving. He's like Swanson's butterball or whatever and everything. I'm like, "Yeah, like a normal fucking person and everything." And I felt bad for him because he just threw him in that little cage and he's like trying to fight off this turkey. And I'm like, listen, I've been on a farm, like our grandparents owned a farm, and I've been in a cage, not with a turkey. I mean, they had turkeys, but with a rooster. Those fuckers are mean. Turkeys are mean too. They don't
and,
fuck
and
around.
I don't know if you ever had to, but Sasha and I had to kill a chicken one time as
Well,
like punishment because we were fighting.
oh, I didn't have to kill anything. I just went in there and they're mean. They're like,
You never had to collect the eggs or milk the goats?
no, I just watched all that stuff, but I'll tell you right now, I did go in with the chickens and chickens slash roosters. They are not nice at all. I was like, I don't want to play with you guys. You guys are mean. You're just mean. They're all like flying around and shit. I'm like, go get it the fuck away from me. I'm not country, but I'm way too city for you fuckers. Anyways, and I love how he killed it, and then he's all like, they're all fucking with him again. They're like, you gotta feather it and everything. And then he plucks it and it comes back alive. He's like, it's a miracle. And he's like, that's my ride, gotta go. And I was like, yeah, fuck you guys. You guys deserve that for fucking with him.
I just can't believe they believed that the turkey had a heart
A
attack.
heart attack. I know, right? I'm like, listen, I'm not a doctor or a vet or anything like that,
Or
but
a
I gotta tell you,
turkeyologist.
just our biologist, just going, he's not gonna give a turkey a heart attack. I tell you that right now. But okay.
Do you want to eat a turkey that's had a heart attack?
No, no, I take that back. I would eat it. But here's my
We're all
question
in
is,
that too.
after it had a heart attack, why wouldn't you just cut its head off? Like why would you leave its head attached?
I mean, that's the first thing we did with the chicken.
Right on. So, okay. So can we talk about the bachelor party now? First off, his bachelor party sucked. I just want to say that out loud, not aloud, okay? Because I've been to a bachelor party, my own, along with some other ones. Bachelor parties. I think bachelor parties are fun. You don't have to have like strippers, although you have to have strippers. If you don't, it's weird. But his bachelor party sucked. It just looked like drinking in a bar with a bunch of dicks around. And I'm all like, if there's not a vagina in the room, I'm like, this is weird. And if she's not taking off her clothes for dollar bills, it's weird. It's just weird to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Am I the only person that goes, it's a red flag when your girlfriend's ex or your fiance's ex is the one that wants to throw you a bachelor party?
Yes. Yeah, especially since it's been like 2 days. I'm like, nobody gets over that shit in 2 days. Not one person. I'm sorry.
One person thought it was a bad situation. Not one.
Okay. So I love how, to drug them, they used so many pills, like so many pills. They dumped like 14 pills in that beer. And I'm all like, I think one would have done the trick, guys. Like,
I got the impression it was a roofie.
that's
Right?
what I got.
You only need one.
That's what I thought. I was like, you only need one of those. Like, you're wasting, your date rape drug.
Right? You're gonna have to buy more. And they were in a prescription bottle.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's another thing. I'm like, can you prescribe? What is that? DHB or whatever?
It's GHB, I think, but it's called Rohypnol.
Yeah. I'm like, can you prescribe that? Is that a thing?
What do you need that for? Like,
yeah,
what
exactly.
You have.
Again, we are no medical experts, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, huh, that's weird. And they dumped like half the bottle, and I was like, whoa, overkill. Like, I think he's gonna die.
Go to jail for
Yeah.
killing someone.
And then I love how when he's drinking that second beer, the Rohypnol beer, he spills so much of it over his clothes. Like I get chugging a beer, but at least I like try not to spill it on my clothing because nobody wants to go home wet.
I would rather stop
except for Tracy
it if I think I'm gonna spill it.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit is expensive.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so Tracy comes in and she does her little striptease after he's doing his shitty song. I was like, oh, nobody wants to hear your country boy song.
Yeah.
She comes in and she does her little striptease. And I just want to say right now, her striptease sucked. Her little yeah, it was no good. I mean, like, she didn't even show any nip. Like, I'm sorry.
Fell over dead.
Yeah, even then I'm like, I'm sorry if you're showing up and you're doing a little action for us. I want to see you pop a big fat nip. You know what I'm saying? I want to see, nippies, and I want to see titties in my face. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she didn't even do titties in the face, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Yeah,
well,
I'm just saying.
Tries to get her to continue. She just is like, no, I'm done. I did my part.
I'm just saying I could have done a better striptease than that bitch. It was no good. I'm like, it was no good. If she got paid, I would take away her tip. Like she's
well, I think that's how she's getting paid. He's giving her the tip later.
Oh yeah, just the tip. You know what I'm saying?
It's not cheating if it's just the tip.
So then the next day, Becca finds him in the bar with Tracy. Ooh, and everything.
Dun dun.
Dun dun dun. And she spills, what was that, coffee? What did she have? Coffee or milk or whatever? And I'm like, why are you taking that with you? That's weird. Okay, so I don't know about you, but this whole time I didn't get the sense that they were in love. Like because they didn't show anything about that. Like, even when he had his serious talk about how I like your family, Becca, you need to tell them the truth. He never once said anything or showed, in my opinion, showed anything about how he was in love with her. Did you get that?
No, I got they really just act like best friends. Like they're looking out for each other, they're helping each other out.
Yes.
Just because you're a boy and a girl doesn't mean you can't be best friends. And if you are, you have to fall in love. That's not how it works.
Yes, I agree. But so then when she got all mad that he had cheated, I was like, why are you getting mad? You like, there's no love here. And if there is, it's forced within the last 5 minutes of this movie. And I'm all like, I just didn't get it. I'm like, and plus I feel like they would be better not together,
Yeah, like I said, I'm going for the best friend vibe, not the couple vibe.
Okay, so after she goes into the house and she's like, the wedding is off kind of thing. So I mean, like, Pauly Shore is all like, I'm gonna go back to California where it's normal. And I'm like, is it normal in California? Because I mean, it didn't look bad, but it didn't look normal. Oh, and I love how when he confronts her in her bedroom, she starts throwing away her stuff, like her pom poms and shit. And I'm all like, why are you throwing all your shit away? Because you're mad about some dude sleeping with like they you weren't even interested in, but now you are because he slept with Tracy. It was so weird.
It's such a good movie, but there are so many things that don't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, like I feel like they were just like, hey, we need to wrap this movie up. So why don't we just like write in like they love each other at the end, the last 5 minutes. And he's like, majored in karate for 2 semesters. And I'm like, okay, well, all you did was punch him in the face and kick him in the nuts. So, whatever.
I don't even know if at the end they really love each other. I think they might just be confused about their feelings.
Oh no, no, no. They're getting married. They've just put
They're
the
putting
date
it
on
off for a
hold.
while till they can come up with a reason not to get married, I guess.
Right
I
on. Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Yeah. That's all I have in my notes. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
No, okay. So then why don't we go ahead and move on to the question portion of this program?
Questions.
Yeah, what? Yeah, girlfriend, nasty and everything. Okay.
I
So what is your question for this movie?
went with the very basic question of what is your favorite Pauly Shore movie?
Okay, well, this one you asked this. I'm gonna go with because you already mentioned it like way before, but it's Encino Man. I love that movie.
I
I
love that.
cannot get in what?
I love that. That's mine too. I love it so much when
Oh
they're
my
at the
god.
7-Eleven and he's going through the
Oh,
groups. I
oh
love
my
that.
goodness. Yes. I love that movie so much. I love how when he's at the dinner table with the parents, he's like, hey, Mr. So and so, if I had the whole Brady Bunch thing happen at my pet, I could grind it over there. So don't text my gig so hardcore, Cruster. And I'm all like, I wish I could think of this shit to talk like this but I can't because I'm not that crazy. But yeah, no, I love that movie so much. And it's such a weird concept. Like this caveman gets frozen in a block of ice and then he gets thawed out in the 90s. And I'm all like, that's not how that works.
Kids
He'd be a
digging a pool.
skeleton.
And I just want people to know you can dig a hole for your own pool to go into, but by the end of Encino Man, he has a full on concrete pool in his backyard. You really can't do that on your own.
I see. I thought it just looked like a hole with like dirt water in it. Like that's just what it like. I was just like, when he has that party at the end of that movie, I'm all like, I would not jump in that hole of dirty water.
They just filled up the
Yeah,
dirt.
one person jumps into that dirty water hole with his tuxedo on from prom, and I'm all like, way to waste a tuxedo, asshole.
Not
Like,
getting your deposit back.
oh, for sure, you're buying that sucker.
But
But
I love that movie so much when he's learning to drive.
oh yeah, it's so great.
I
Yeah, on the
really,
two wheels.
I really do love the food groups at the
Oh
7
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the
Oh,
when
corn
the
nuts. Put them on a
owners,
pedestal.
yeah, and wheezing the juice, and the
Using
guy's
the
like, no
juice.
juice, no wheezing the juice,
Yeah,
and
no,
he's like a
so good.
burrito, and he's like, oh, hot on the outside, icy cold on the inside.
Little 145 minutes. Yeah, no, I love that movie. It's so good. It's so good. All right. So for my question for you, Hooker Face, is what is your favorite movie where the relationship is based on a lie?
There are so many,
So many.
many. Like there are so many that I think it's a real thing. Like I think people really do this.
Oh, I believe it.
I totally do.
90-Day Fiance.
Oh my god, that don't even get me started on that. I went with a great classic of "Can't Buy Me Love."
Oh yeah, I
Um,
love Can't Buy Me Love.
"Can't Buy Me Love," and a close second, "The Wedding Date." Was up there, but definitely "Can't Buy Me Love" at the end. Those I debated between them. Um, and I went, no, you can't go wrong with a classic.
Yeah, and you can't buy me love, you know what I'm saying? But I love how
Nobody does this
how
$1,000.
Yeah, exactly. I love how he gives her money to buy like, that what was it, like a dress or
Yeah,
whatever?
because she spills red wine on her mom's, and her mom specifically told her not to wear it because it was suede. And
Yeah.
she spills, or a guy spills red Merlot on her
Yeah. And I'm
suede.
all like, that's so crazy, but so good. And it's McDreamy from Grey's
Yep.
Anatomy. And I'm all like, you don't need to pay me $1,000, McDreamy. I'll fuck ya.
I
I'll let you ride that lawnmower up and down
find him
this bush.
attractive. Even
What'd you
with
say?
pocket protector, he's
Ex-
attractive.
yeah, yeah. That fucker was hot back then. Yeah, with his glasses and his nerd talk. I was like, I would have fucked you. I don't care what.
And he
Yeah.
looks like Pauly Shore's picture.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. My choice for this was not as old as your movie, but in my opinion, just as good. It's How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
I do love that.
I can't tell you how much I love this movie so much. I love it when she's okay. My favorite part, it's so dumb, but it's my favorite part when they leave the Celine Dion concert and she gets in the taxi and all she says is, see you later. And that's my favorite part of the whole fucking movie. She's like, see you later. It's so good. I love it. The way she says it. I love both. I love Kate Hudson. I love Matthew McConaughey. I love this movie. I could watch it all day, every day.
Yeah, it's a really great pick. That one I didn't even come to my mind. I mean, I'm not changing mine, but yeah, that
Oh,
one.
you should change it. Yours is a good movie. I would watch yours in a heartbeat. We should
Oh,
do that. No, that's the theme for season 4, guys. We're gonna watch
80s.
movies.
We'll just do 80s, or
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
do
do.
fake
Or
relationship themes.
yeah, yeah, with McDreamy, any movie with McDreamy in it. He's got that one where he's a pizza boy that fucks people. That's great. I love that movie too.
Right, I forgot it.
I love it. I could watch that movie all day, every day too. I love it. I
He's
love
in
it.
that one Transformer movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I could watch all of them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
All right, so Vetta, before we go,
great.
would you recommend Son-in-Law to people?
Absolutely.
Me too. Yeah.
Plot is not going to change your life. This isn't something that you're watching for some deep philosophical meaning. It's just good Pauly Shore
Yeah,
fun.
and yeah, it's so much fun. I love it. It's so good. It's just fantastic. I would love to see a sequel to this movie. Like
Oh,
now,
sure.
like 40 years later, you know?
I was gonna say where he's the dad. That would be
Oh, that'd be
phenomenal.
great. Yeah.
Or
Yeah, yeah,
somehow
yeah.
he's a professor at the
Yeah, and
university.
his maybe like his daughter or son is all like crazy in California, but then they marry somebody from the Midwest and it's all
Yeah,
different and stuff. Like, it's like how's those griddles and everything or whatnot.
yeah. I
Uh
mean, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of options. Someone's interested, slide into our DMs. We can help you out with that.
Yeah, yeah, we have ideas, you guys. The only thing, you have to pay us in alcohol. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's just. But I'm cheap. You can just buy me a cheap bottle of wine. I'm good. It can be made of petrol. I'm totally good with that. It's fine. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to us. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod. And that's where you can stay updated and everything. If you listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please leave us a 5, or anywhere where you get your podcast stuff. Please leave us a 5-star review, guys. You have no idea how much we appreciate it, and it helps us out so much. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so be sure to check us out there and subscribe. Our name on YouTube is BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And please don't forget to drink, recap, and review, and repeat. Ahoo, ahoo, buddy. Bye, you guys.
Bye.